Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I have got just 2 more silkscreen videos to share with you guys in the next 2 videos. This one and the next one. If you've missed any, go back and check them out. These are going to be based on all of your suggestions and all of your advice on how we can make things better when we are using silk screens with our Jesmonite. Now, the hardest part for me was choosing the silk screens. I think these ones here will look better on coasters, gorgeous farmyard animals, so cute. And this row of birds I have had for ages, still have not used it, but I did decide to settle on these. They are perfect, and we're going to be doing Jesmonite directly on the mold. So if you guys saw the last video where I demolded and then I used a silk screen, we're going to do the opposite. The next video is going to be using isopropyl alcohol. I had to think about it then. Isopropyl alcohol and mica. You guys would have seen I tried the mica powder rubbed into the silk screen, and it kind of got messy. I made a mess. I wasn't very good at it. So many of you said mix it in with alcohol. I've done that before, and so of course has Wendy from Toonfish Crafts. I learned it from her. That's going to be the next video. So this video, we're going Jesmonite directly on the mold. And the next video, we're going alcohol and mica. And then we can finally move on from silk screens. First thing I'm going to do is clean my mold. This is the oval tray mold from Moulds and Shapes. All of the details for your discount code for Moulds and Shapes are down below. The silk screens are all from Amazon and they are all linked below. In my Amazon storefront, I've got actual pages. So if you go into my Amazon storefronts linked below, you'll see a page for silk screens. You'll see a page for polymer. You'll see a page for tools I use. All of that is within my Amazon storefronts. So definitely go check it out. I had to just eyeball the center of this. I just measured it a little bit just to make sure I was getting it as central as possible. Something else I'm not very good at, but you know, handmade with love, not perfection. And then I made sure that I gave it a big super squish down. So again, if you missed this video, this was done after demold. We demolded the Jesmonite. We put the silk screen down on top, and this way we're flipping it. So we're going Jesmonite directly onto the mold. Now, I am using the Zen green from Homeware Design Co., but I'm going for the more zen than the green. If you've got this color, you'll know what I mean. It is sublime. It's serenity. One single drop gives us the most calming, beautiful, spa, zen color. This is the color scheme we're going for. So I know I've done a lot of green, and I know I've got some green dislikers out here, and I am sorry. I promise you I love you, but the green very much tied in with my botanical spring vibe. So again, I'm loving green right now. So as you would have seen me do in the last 5 videos, I'm simply putting down some of the Jesmonite AC100. Again, I'm using Jesmonite AC100. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that. I'm putting it down on the silk screen, and don't ask me why I started using a silicone tool, because if you guys know me, you know I do not have patience for this, but it wasn't long before I changed it for my gloved hand. Of course, I'm using a gloved hand. This pigment can get on your skin and stain. But yeah, gloved hand is always easier. It prevents it from getting under your nails and all of that jazz. But rubbing it all over with my hand until I'm quite confident I have reached every little millimeter of this silk screen before peeling it back and revealing the pattern. This is so pretty, honestly. If you missed the black and gold video, or even the other one where I did Jesmonite and then resin, it was from that video where you guys suggested, couldn't you do Jesmonite directly on the mold and then pour a background of Jesmonite? And sometimes things are so obvious. This is why I'm so glad you guys are all here and you're on my team. We are literally a gang and you give me so many ideas. So thank you so much for thinking of this and trying it this way around instead of, doing it after demold. Now, Houston, we had a problem. I moved the mold out of the way to mix the Jesmonite, and when it came to pouring the Jesmonite, it felt like, at least it looked like, some of the Jesmonite pattern on the mold was lifting. Some of the leaves were lifting, the edges were lifting, and that is because I shoved the mold out of the way to create more space. and it had already started to cure. It wouldn't be so bad if it was still soaking wet, it wouldn't be an issue, but because it had started to cure, it did become an issue, and I was kind of worried that once we demold, we're going to get hunky chunks, we're going to get canyons, we're going to get craters and holes, and yeah, I was super nervous at this point. I did toy with the idea of just washing it out, starting again, but honestly, I just would prefer to fix it afterwards than actually start again. This was 30 minutes later and demold. The colours are stunning. They are everything. They are simply zen. It's giving me narrow boat folk art vibes, but the holes, guys, the canyons, I was definitely right. My suspicions were right. The leaves had started to lift because I had moved that tray, and you definitely don't want to move it. You don't want to move it. Once the Jesmonite has cured, it will break the seal between the Jesmonite and the silicone. It's the same as resin. And look what has happened. Like, honestly, part of me was a bit sad about it. Part of me was like, actually, it looks like the leaves are curling up, but curling backwards, if that makes sense. Like, I've almost captured that movement within the Jesmonite tray itself. But yeah, still really, really pretty. And can you tell, I have just bought a new Jesmonite batch and I've had my delivery. So let's go again. We're going to try this again. We're going to try it properly without touching or moving this silicone mold at all. The same tray, the same oval tray from Moulds and Shapes. We're going with peacock blue and a gorgeous bright blue as well. The name escapes me because, guys, you know me. My 46-year-old brain can't even keep up with what I did yesterday. Yeah, two of the most beautiful blues from Homeware Design Co. Again, your code for Homeware Design Co. is down below as well. I'm not affiliated, guys. I do not earn commission from them, and I do not earn commission from Moulds and Shapes. So I just love their products. You guys get the discount codes. Anyway, back to the video. We're using the blues, and I'm same thing again. I'm just rubbing it all over, but I'm being very mindful to not move the tray, like, at all. This tray does not get budged. How cute is this? This is folk art if I've ever seen folk art. I can imagine this in the living room of an old style narrow boat for sure. That was the other colour of blue that you just saw on the screen, and this is the colour we're going to back it in. So we've gone for a real pale blue and then a dark blue on the background. The tray has not been touched. Like, I've been super mindful not to touch this tray or move this tray or allow any of that Jesmonite pattern to lift or peel or any of it. Of course, with Jesmonite AC100, if anyone has done anything like this, where you, even when you splash Jesmonite onto a tray and then you pour a background, there's always a risk of air pockets around the edges of the pre-splashed Jesmonite, because the fresh Jesmonite can't quite work its way around the grooves. It's quite a thick, creamy consistency. So there was a risk that even though I'm not moving the mold, I started tapping and then was like, Claire, stop tapping. There was a risk of air pockets, and again, did not fail. Like, it did not disappoint. Exactly what I thought would happen happened. Because I didn't move this tray at all, I didn't shimmy and shake it because I was so nervous about dislodging the pattern. The holes are real, and I don't believe this is because the Jesmonite had a chance to lift. I poured the background quite early on, but it does look like mostly the holes are around the outside edges, but then in areas it does look like it lifted. So again, I just feel like neither of these techniques are necessarily the way forward. I decided after a couple of days we would save them. We would try and save them and see what we could do to bring them back to a saleable quality, if you like. I mean, I don't sell my stuff, it lives on a shelf. One day I'll do a craft fair, but bring them back to a real high-end quality. And this is what I decided to do. Now, I'll be honest, even though I'm loving silk screens, and I've told you guys, like, these are amazing, and some of you have bought them, the stick definitely fades. This is only the second use, and I was struggling to get it to stick back down onto the surface of this Jesmonite. But the positive thing was, it was a lot easier to lay it down than I thought, because you can really see that pattern through it. I could really see it and line it up almost perfectly. So that was a plus, that was a positive. So many of you have told me to use spray adhesive to get the screens to stick back down. If I'm honest, I think a couple of things. A, I feel like spray adhesive would clog the mesh. It would clog the silkscreen. B, I'm not sure it would be so easy to wash. But C, it would actually clog the silk to the point of the product not getting through. But yeah, my main concern would be that the product wouldn't be able to get through. So I'm a bit, yeah, I'm probably not going to try spray adhesive to get these to be restickable. Equally, I would worry about the effect of the spray adhesive on the Jesmonite surface at this point. It might be worth sealing the Jesmonite first, then trying. I don't know. I do feel like I need to move on from silk screens though. Okay, I did decide when saving these trays, I'm going to go for a much darker green. So again, I'm using the Zen Green, same exact pigment that is in the tray, but instead of 1 drop, I used like 5 drops. This gives us the most stunning dark green. It looks like my bathroom right now. Yeah, it gives us that. And I just think using the pale colours made me realise that I do prefer contrast. I do prefer light and dark. And yes, I'm avoiding talking about the utter mess I got in. I mean, this was so much fun. Could I use a spatula? Yes. Could I use a squeegee? Absolutely yes. Do I need to use my hand? No, but where's the fun in that? Come on, guys. Where's the fun in that? This was an immediate wow for me. A wow. As soon as I lifted that silk screen off, I was like, I've done it. I have filled all of those holes. All of those holes that you saw have gone. They've all gone. Like it couldn't have been more perfect if I paid someone to do it for me. Like, we're going to go with the other tray now as well, because now that I know we can re-stick these down and save them, I'm going to save both. And I'm not even changing colour because, come on, you know me, I made way too much Jesmonite. So I'm going with dark green on the blue. The colours of nature, grass and sky. And yeah, I just went straight in with the green on the blue tray as well to see if we could bring this back to life. Now, a bit of water did get on the bottom of the tray, I didn't realise, but that hopefully will dry. You can see it on the blue there. But oh my goodness me, this is what we're now looking like, having saved the trays. They are both beautiful. Now, can we still see pin prick holes on the blue tray around the edges? Yes, but because I've gone in with a dark green, it 100% takes your eyes away. Your eyes are naturally diverted from any imperfections on the surface. But hands down, applying your silkscreen after demold is the way forward. There are just too many kind of cons. There's pros and cons to everything, every method. But for this, to me, there's too many cons to lay the Jesmonite directly in the mold. Different with resin. Resin absolutely will find its way around every nook and cranny, but Jesmonite won't necessarily find its way around all of those intricate edges, therefore leaving gaps. Or like you saw in the first tray, the Jesmonite lifting because I moved the tray. So either way you do it, you're almost guaranteed to get air pockets. Now, what you could do is fully wait for the first layer of Jesmonite to dry, get a nice fat, juicy, fluffy brush, and then individually brush the Jesmonite on to the tray, getting in and around all of the intricate details that were left by the silkscreen. You could absolutely do that. That would more than likely take away any chance of getting an air bubble in and around the area of your silkscreen. But is it worth it? I'm asking myself a lot lately. Would this method be worth it? Or would it just be easier to demold a plain tray, put a silkscreen on it, and slap the Jesmonite down on top? For me, there's no contest. For me, it would have to be demold first, lay the silkscreen down, because the other methods are just, it's too much effort. You know, guys, it's too much. It's too much effort. Ain't nobody got time for that. But yeah, I hope you found this video helpful, comparing the two and seeing what results we could get by doing it this way. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And yeah, I hope you feel inspired. Thank you as always. Thank you again for letting me have the day off on Monday. I hope you all had a lovely Easter. I've eaten way too much chocolate. I should get shares in Cadbury's. I'm not gonna lie. I will see you all in the next video, which will be the alcohol and the mica powder, and see what results we can get using silk screens and the alcohol. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be a lot less messy. I will see you then. Bye.